Hi guys, so in this video what we're going to do is going to look at how to label right-angled triangles, which is incredibly useful for when we move on to the next few videos when we talk about looking at trigonometry. So let's just draw a right-angled triangle and have a look, see how we label these things. So we can see that this is a right-angled triangle here because it's been labelled as right-angled. Another way that you might see it labelled as a right-angled triangle is if you see this symbol there. In order to completely label the triangle, we also need an angle. So I'm going to call this angle here angle A, and I'm going to call this angle here angle B. Now, generally what we do in maths is we use capital letters for angles and we use small letters for sides. So normally if you see a capital letter, it's normally denoting an angle. So that's just something you'd be aware of. The first thing we do, guys, is we then label the longest side. Now the longest side is always opposite the right angle. So here we go opposite the angle, and this here now is the longest side. And just like on the other one, if I just go to the other triangle, see here's my right angle. So opposite the right angle is the longest side. Now I'm sure you can see that that is the longest side. So that's the first thing we label, and it's called the hypotenuse. So let's just label that now as the hypotenuse, so the hypotenuse. Okay, we sometimes call it the hype for short. So the hypotenuse on this one is here, it's just opposite the angle there, sorry, the right angle. Now, the next thing we have to look at is the one that's opposite the angle. So this one here, you can see here, if we go opposite the angle, just follow the red beam there, you can see it's here. That is called the opposite. It's not very clever or exciting. Mathematicians generally aren't. So they came out with that is the opposite of the angle. And likewise, if I look at B here, if we go opposite, we can see that this line here is opposite the angle, and therefore that is also called the opposite. So let's just label those next. So we have the opposite, and we call that the op as well. And that means that whatever line is left must be the adjacent. So this line here, because this line is left, this becomes the adjacent. And on the other triangle, you can see here, this is the edge. Okay, so you can essentially just write three letters, or you can write O, H, and A if you wish, but you must be able to label correctly a right-angled triangle, otherwise you will not be able to do trigonometry. Let's just stick a few up and let's see if we can get these done then. So let's have a look at this one, and I'm going to give you this angle here. I'm going to call this angle A. So straight away what we need to do is be able to label it. So again, don't forget, I should have written this in, this is actually a right angle. So the first thing we do is we find the line that is opposite the right angle, and that's always the longest. So we can label that the hypotenuse. So let's do that now. So we'll label that the hypotenuse. So that's our HYP. Then what I do is I look at my angle that I've been given. So here's the angle that I've been given, and I go opposite the angle that I've been given, which is this one here. So this now is my opposite, and we can use OPP for short. So op, which means that the final side must be my adjacent or my edge. Okay, I'll do one more for you guys. So let's have a look. Let's draw another rectangle, another triangle. That'd be much better than a rectangle. So here is a triangle. I am telling you that this is the right angle here, and I am going to want to find, or I'm going to be using that angle. So again, guys, find your right angle. Okay. The hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. So let's go down, and I can see here it is. There's my hypotenuse. So we can write down hype, or H if you wish. So we're just going to write H for hypotenuse. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have another look at my angle. My angle's here. And we need to go opposite the angle, and it's hitting this line here. So this line here now must be my opposite. I'm just going to call that O for short. So it's now O, which means that the other side, i.e. this side here, must be the adjacent. And that's essentially how we label a right-angled triangle for trigonometry.